So we have the only bamboo. I'm going with the flat approach. Underneath here was packing masking tape, one on the top, one on the bottom, and then a 50 or so millimeter wide piece. Just wrap it round. It is a royal pain in the ass to get the damn stuff to stick. Tell you, just irritating. But it's doable. So there's a couple down here that I've put 2 layers on, and although the resin is still, it's only about 3 hours, I think. It's even at 2 layers, that's pretty solid. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 4 layers in effect, 4 pieces altogether there, which is producing a pretty sturdy thing this way. But in this direction, away from me, it's really good. I just have to see how that works out for longer pieces. Must do this one anyway. This wasn't the reason I was trying to think. By the way, just at the moment I'm just doing like 4 to 5 inch patch pieces between these because I stopped them here and here. No tails. It's too inconvenient. And then just going with the convex contours of the packed paper masking tape thing. And there was one that I missed, but I'll do that in a separate video. Now the reason I'm doing this is because I spotted a structural error. Let me see if I can pull this, twist this out here. Right, so I'm just going to tip the camera up sideways. Right. That's the floor. Okay, all right. This is where the driver sits. Stepping in, roof. All right, but remember, there's a roof subsection, and then there's a floor subsection, which is going to be held on by the door sill. It's a very large door sill, just to give them strength. Right. So what is going to happen is we're going to have an M10 bolt there, there, and there. All right. Now, this door sill piece is only attached by a single 21.5 millimeter PVC pipe, which obviously is going to be covered, but it's certainly attached by a single one from there to there, which means it's going to be a bit. It's not triangulated at this point here. That's not attached. It's only attached. There's only pieces going out from there to there. So actually, there's not much point in putting one there. Now that I think about it, what that means is this point becomes a pull push point. All right, onto which a lot of force is going to be a thing. And notice how all these are thin? These are all thin ones. So bulking them up like these is not, well, it's going to be either costly or it's not going to work. What's critically important is that this be triangulated. So I'm going to have to put I'm going to cut that and put a 21.5 in its across there, and what I'm going to do is cut a section of these, and the same on the other side. I'm going to cut a section out and just put one thing, and then join between there and that one and that one and that one. I'm not going to make any. We're not going to make a node for it or anything like that. I'm just going to epoxy them in there and there. But this time, what I decided to do is experiment. I'm actually going to do it. I'm just bringing it back up. I'm going to take just a straight PVC pipe, laminate it in the same style as this, which is 1 Kevlar and then 2 industrial hemp, and then the twine on the outside, and then cut it in half. So I make the whole thing and then cut it. And once it's cut, just to length, to size, epoxy it in with extra laminate stuff. Epoxy and laminate it in, and that will give the triangulation that's needed on there. I'm going to have to beef that one up. It's going to have to be seriously beefed up as well, and that should give enough strength. I may actually just on all these panels just fill them in a bit more strength. I'll find some material to make that out of. Double panel, no, because it's got to be attached to these. It's got to actually be attached. Yeah, that's a thought. Don't bother with this, just panel them in, completely panel them in. We've got to watch the weight, so I'll have to think about that. Yeah. This is coming on really good. Just dropping these on is fast, or relatively fast. I could do with a second person, really, somebody that that slaps on the resin, and or just then I can concentrate on laying them in with a second brush, because it's a bit inconvenient to switch between the two tasks. Yeah, lots to think about. But yeah, this thing. The next bit, I've ordered some stainless steel 316. Just tracking down some 304 stainless steel tube. Found some 12mm, 1mm wall. I've also found some 1/2" 304, which is a lot cheaper. That with a 1.5mm wall, and got some M10 bolts, some 75mm M10 bolts. It will be overkill for joining the ones on the roof, but there's going to be a roof part going up there, and then the floor with the side piece going on here, and there is actually enough room to get those two assemblies in here upright. That's what I had a couple of weeks ago when they were actually constructed, but it was on the floor with the back box thing. This part wasn't on at the time, but I think there's going to be enough room, and that will then allow me to start doing the epoxying of the roof portion and the floor portion, and we can do the stainless steel tube with the bolts actually in situ on the top there. Then the next part will be to disconnect them, bring the front portion in, and do the same thing with the with the floor, but the other way up. So the front nose will be down, and the floor will be on top of it again, but in the opposite direction, pointing down rather than at the moment it will be pointing up and forward. So that will be interesting to do. Yeah. Gore. Yeah. These are working well. I have to put some more laminate across there. the joint between those, and beef these up. I was hoping that they would be beefed up by putting some of these on, but they're not going to be strong. It's not going to be enough, so I'm just going to have to do beefy parts across there, across here. I think we're using this the 50mm Kevlar tape, because that's really good stuff. Yeah, it's shaping up very cool. Thank you.